guys. It's WhatskillingChloe. Yeah, so it's chapter 13. I'm still sick because I'm recording this in the same day as the last video. I'm probably just going to record a lot of chapters and then just have them there and edit them so that I can let them out on a good time. Yeah, that did not make sense. On a good time, in a good manner. No, good timely manner, I think. I make myself cringe so hard, oh my god. Okay, so this is chapter 13. Have a good fun, or have a good luck. Let's see if I can actually read like a person today. The people work... Oh, damn. The people working on my window are gone now. I walked inside while Jeff and Masky talked. I didn't think Masky would know Jeff. Who else does he know? God, I don't think I want to find out. I put my stuff away and rested in the living room. I sigh. Today has been shit. I lay down instead of watching some TV. I can't fall asleep, though, because I don't want to. I don't know what I want to do, or need to do. I just feel blank and lifeless. While processing what I feel like doing, my mind trails off to Travis for some reason. Maybe I can text him, but maybe he's busy, or he might not even answer back. If I text him, will he think me to be desperate? I don't want to seem like that, especially after today, but will he understand that I need someone to talk to? I let out a gruff sigh and gripped my teeth. Maybe I shouldn't text him at all, at least not yet. I started walking up the stairs and my phone rang. Thinking it was Travis, I gasped and answered the phone. I was so intent on talking to him, I called out his name to see if it was him. Unfortunately, it wasn't. No, this isn't Travis. It's your mother, she said. I felt awkward now. Damn it, Elizabeth, why can you be so stupid sometimes? Now she'll think there's a boy in my life. Just great. I managed to get my words out to her. Oh, sorry, what's up? Ian woke up a couple minutes ago. Would you like to come and talk to him? Or come and see him? She said. At the mention of Ian, I felt my heart race. I so desperately want to see him. I want to see him wake and smiling. I want to hear him tease me with his little remarks about how short I am. I just want to see him. Yes, I said excitedly. I'd love to come and see him. I heard my mom chuckle and she said, well, all right then. I'll keep him up for you. Can you catch a taxi? I'll pay for it when you get here. Sure, Mom, I said. I'll see you there. I hung up and smiled. I'm going to see Ian again. I really needed to see him. I go upstairs and get my jacket and grab my spare keys. When I go downstairs, I see Jeff sitting on the couch's arm and looking at me. He seems a little off. What is it? I asked him. Where are you going? He asked. He seemed annoyed. I frowned and said, What's up with you all of a sudden? I asked you a question, Elizabeth, he said. He hasn't called me by my full name since ever. He's only called me Ellie or Sunshine. Now I know something's up. I'll answer your question when you answer mine. Get off, I said firmly. He scowls and gets off the couch's arm. I don't want any bullshit from you now, so tell me where you're going, he growled. I felt myself go uneasy by his sudden anger. What's wrong with him? What did I do to make him mad? I don't bother trying to figure it out. I tell him, I'm going to see Ian at the hospital. Will Travis be there? He asked. I was taken aback by what he said. I gulped and said, No, he won't. How do you know about him? He chuckles and growls. I'm not stupid, Ellie. I know what's going on in your life. I know the rumors that are going on about you, especially the recent ones. I know you have a little crush on this Travis guy. Were you expecting him to text or call you just now? He said that last sentence with a hint of mockery. I was getting angry. No, I wasn't, and my social life is none of your business, I snapped. He laughs and says, Everything about you is my business, even your little social life. I gave him a look. What's that supposed to mean? I asked angrily. You know what it means, he growled. My face turned to shock as I knew what he meant. Then I frowned and yelled at him, Just shut up! I don't need to listen to you. I stormed towards the door when he grabs me and doesn't let me go. I glare at him and growl, Let me go! He doesn't respond. He only scowls. I try yanking his hand off, but he had it a tight grip. I started to hurt, and now I was scared. Jeff, let go. You're hurting me. What if that's what I want? He says darkly. I look at him and sneer. I still try to get away, but I knew he would never let me go. I punched his chest, but he doesn't even flinch. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I snap. His grip got a whole lot tighter, and he gives me a look of complete anger. I was afraid he'd break my wrist at this point. I then feel him slightly jerk me towards him, and he started leading me upstairs. I struggled, but it was no use. He nearly dragged me up the stairs, and when we got to the top, he pulled me forward to my room. What if he's going to kill me now? Even though I'm the proxy, as everyone says, he still can kill me. He's supposed to be my protector. Jeff, he was going to keep me safe. He said so himself. He promised me. I can't believe he would lie to me like that. I thought I would be safe with him. I guess I'm just too stupid to realize he's still a killer and always will be. He closed the door behind us. I started to tremble uncontrollably. I tried to stop, but it wouldn't work. I was going to die now. I stared down at the floor and sobbed silently. Then after a couple seconds, I felt pressure off Jeff's grip and After a couple of seconds, I felt the pressure of Jeff's grip become softer, but still firm. I didn't look up, though. Then I hear him say, I'm sorry. I stopped crying and finally looked up at him. Did he just apologize to me? I sniffled and mumbled, For what? He gave me a guilty look and said, For making you angry. And for making you cry just now, and also I'm sorry for hurting both your wrist and your feelings. I didn't know what I was saying. I was just angry for some reason, and I took it out on you. I didn't mean for it to happen to you. I was being stupid, and I'm sorry for all of that. I looked at him for a few seconds. He was generally sorry and guilty. I sniffled again and said, It's okay. I forgive you. I guess I was being a little too stubborn back there. In a way, it's kind of my fault, too. He shook his head and said, No, it's not. You did nothing to make the situation worse. I started the whole damn thing, so don't put the blame on yourself. I nodded and stared down at the floor again. I felt him let go of my wrist. We both stood there, not really knowing what to do now. It was extremely awkward. More awkward than shouting Travis's name when it was my mom who was calling. It was weird, and I definitely felt a huge tension between us. It's like we both wanted to do or say something. Well, at least Jeff. He was shifting in his spot a lot, meaning he must want to do something right now. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Without realizing it, I walked up to Jeff slowly and hugged him softly. What the fuck, Brain? He flinched and I felt him tense up. Why did I do this? What is wrong with me? There was crack in that sandwich, right? Please tell me it's just the drugs and it's not me. I'm okay with the drugs. Please let it be the drugs. I felt my face go hot, yet I didn't let go. I knew if I did, he'd think that there's something on my mind and he'll question me. I don't feel like talking with him right now. On one hand, I want to push him and punch him across the face. On the other hand, I just want things to be calm and quiet like this moment. I was still hugging him, digging my face into his chest. He felt really warm, and his hoodie is still soft too. I felt him hug me back, but hesitantly. Then he relaxed and hugged me completely. Now, he felt even more warm. He rested his head on the top of mine. I blushed and dug my face deeper to hide it. I didn't want him to see me red. I didn't want him to see my face at all. I closed my eyes and saw only darkness. I could still feel him hug me, which was enough for me. I knew if I were to see my surroundings, I would feel even more uncomfortable. I was holding my breath in a lot. I didn't know what to do next. I was hoping Jeff would do something for me instead. Then I felt him move a little bit. He raised a hand to my face and grabbed my chin. I look at him, wondering what he's going to do. I look up at him, wondering what he's doing. I was about to open my mouth to speak when he suddenly leans in and puts his lips on mine. I feel a rush of heat and adrenaline bolt through my entire body, from the tip of my nose to my toes. No rhyme intended. Now, I definitely don't know what to do, so I just close my eyes and let him kiss me. I didn't really mind it. In fact, it was pleasing. My face felt like it was on fire. I'm sure I looked like a cherry and a tomato combined. I slowly put my arms around his neck and tiptoed slightly. Jeff pulled me closer, and there was no more space between us. After what seemed like forever, he slowly pulled back and put his forehead against mine. He raised his hand up and cupped my face. I clutched his hoodie and took a shaky, deep breath. I saw his face was a little red, and that made me smile slightly. Then he mumbled, "I have no idea what the hell." I chuckled and said, "I have no clue either." He laughs a little. Clearly, we both know what happened just now, but we're too surprised by it to talk about it. "Are you mad?" he asked me. I shook my head slowly and said, "Not really." He pulled me in for another hug and leaned into the side of my head. He got so close to my ear that I could feel his lips slightly. He got so close to my ear that I could feel his lips slightly rub against it. It actually felt kind of nice. Then he whispers, "Good." His voice sent chills up my spine, but they were nice chills. I stood there with him still holding me. I didn't expect for this to happen, especially not this. But it did, and I have no way of changing it. I was about to break the silence when my phone vibrated. I looked at it, and it was my mom. I must be taking forever. I have to go see Ian. I pulled away from Jeff slightly and said, "I have to go and see Ian before visiting hours are over. I have to go and see Ian before visiting hours are over." Jeff's a little sad about me leaving, I can tell, especially since we just kissed and all, but he understood and let me go. I hurried downstairs and said goodbye to him. As I was walking, I wondered what would happen now that what just happened actually happened. Will things be awkward or the same? I don't know. All I know is now he's got something to blackmail me with. God damn it, Jeff. As soon as Ellie left, I felt bored and lonely. I should have just made her stay somehow. I could have seduced her. I could have just taken off my shirt and, flex or something. She wouldn't resist it. Maybe next time. I walked upstairs to her room. I fell on top of her bed, and took a nap. She wouldn't mind it. After a while, I woke up from the nap and stretched. I looked out the window and saw that it was nighttime already. Damn, how long was I out for? Oh well, screw it. I got up and walked out of Ellie's room. No one is back home yet, not even her. She must be still at the hospital, visiting that Ian guy. I sighed and walked back into her room. I looked back at the window and thought about going out. I might as well. There's nothing to do here but either sleep or watch TV or read the fridge. A smile comes to my face. Well, there's always a smile on my face, but I'm smiling for real. The thought of killing again was exciting. I went over to the window and opened it. I laughed and leaped out, closing it behind me. I made my way to the ground and pulled up my hoodie. I looked around trying to decide which way to go. I decided to go west, and I walked. I decided to go west, and I walked. I was in the mood for some outdoor killing. No one seemed to be out walking. Of course not. It's nighttime, damn it.
Of course not. It's nighttime, damn it. Who in their right minds would be out this late? I was about to give up and just sneak into a house when I saw something out of the corner of my eye. It was a boy, no older than 13, sitting at a bench with earphones on. I chuckled and started making my way towards him. He didn't even notice me. He's making this too easy. I started to draw out my knife when I see something else. Another boy, possibly a couple years older than the other, ran up to the younger one and scared him from behind. The younger boy yelped and cursed at the older one. "What the hell, man?" he exclaimed. "You scared the crap out of me." "That was my intention, dumbass," the older one chuckled. The younger boy scowled and said, "Why do you always gotta pick on me?" he asked. The older boy laughed a little and said, "Because I'm your big brother, dork. I do it out of love." He then starts to ruffle the younger brother's hair, and they both laugh. I felt an ache in my chest and groan a little. What's this feeling? God damn, it's annoying. "Come on," the oldest said. "Let's go home before Mom gets worried." The youngest nods and gets up from the bench. They start walking away, but I wasn't about to let them get away. I snuck behind them, hearing them laugh and tease each other. The pain in my chest kept getting stronger and stronger. I'm too young to have a heart attack, so I know it's not that. What is it? This is so annoying. I kept sneaking behind them and got closer and closer. Then I heard their conversation. "You still having trouble at school?" the eldest said. The youngest nods and says sadly, "Yeah, those guys keep messing with me. They keep asking me for money. I'm scared, though. Today they threatened me because I didn't give them all my money." I was shocked at what he said and listened in closely. The eldest said, "You serious? You're serious? Those bastards hurt you? You tell me, I'll take care of it. You won't have to be afraid. We'll fight this together." He ruffles his little brother's hair, but he doesn't seem happy by what the big brother said. "Yeah, but what if we get in trouble? What if they hurt you too? What if they hurt me and it'll be too late, and everyone won't like you anymore? Mom and Dad might send you to boot camp. I don't want you to go." The pain in my chest was immense now. I still don't know what the hell it was. The eldest clapped the little one's shoulder and said, "It's okay. I promise. I'll take the fall, and I'll make it out with no trouble." I was gritting my teeth. Why does this sound so familiar? What was it? Why can't I remember? I kept listening, and I heard the youngest say, "Thanks. You're the best." "You know I am," the eldest exclaimed and laughed. They kept walking, and we got near a small area of trees. "Here's where I have them now." I sneak around them, and I slowly come out. They stop and stare at me. I smirk and remove my hood. Even though it's dark, I can see their terrified faces, and they can see mine. I cocked my head to the side and drew my knife out. They were too petrified to move. Like I said, too easy. I laughed and said, "You should never be walking out this late. Never know when people like me can come along." I pointed the knife at them and they gasped. I chuckled and said, "Now, why don't you two go to sleep?" I raised my knife higher to stab the younger kid, but then the eldest got in the way. I stopped my knife before I could hit him and eyed him. The brat made me mess up. Then he yelled at me, "If you want my brother, you're gonna have to go through me. I'm not going to let you hurt him, even if it kills me." I laugh and chime, "How ironic of you to say that." I raised the knife again to stab the kid in the heart, but for some reason, I couldn't bring it down on him. I stared at him, then finally realized why I've had the pain in my chest. They remind me of... No, I will never think about that. Ever. I growled and yelled. I stabbed the knife into the nearby tree instead of his. "Why can't I kill you two?" They seemed surprised by this and said, "Nothing." "Tell me!" I yelled at them. They flinched from my harsh voice, and the younger one said, "We don't know. Just please leave us alone. We don't want any trouble." I stared at them, giving them an angered look. I was seething and shaking from all the rage inside. Then I said, "You should know. Look at you two. You guys are happy. You guys look after each other, especially you." I pointed at the eldest, and he gulped. He said, "Well, yeah, we're family. We look after each other until the end. He's my little brother, and it's my responsibility to keep him happy and safe." To keep him happy and safe. The younger one nodded, and I looked at the ground. Happy, safe, happy and safe. I took a shaky breath and looked up at them. "You too," I started, "are good kids. You're doing a good job being there for each other." "That's good. I think you two will be one of my good memories." I chuckled, and they both smiled slightly. The youngest one said, "That's cool. Does that mean you won't hurt us?" I froze for a moment, looking at them with a blank expression. Then I said, "Why would you ever think that?" Their expressions turned to terror as I pulled my knife from the tree. "I like you two," I chuckled. "I really do." I took a step forward and my expression went from mischievous to blank again. "But I could never," I started, "let you go. I have to do this. Do you perhaps know why?" Neither one of them said a thing. I laughed maniacally for a few moments. The air around us only filled with constant laughter. Then I abruptly stopped to stay quiet and say quietly, "You remind me too much of who I used to be." I then raised my knife and stabbed the eldest in the neck with one swift move. I yanked out the blade and he drops like it's nothing. The younger one gasps and starts to freak out until he realizes that it's his turn. He starts to run away when I quickly reach over and grab his hair. I yank him back and pull my bloody knife against his throat. He had already started crying and his face was streaked with tears. He mumbled, "Please, please don't do this. Don't hurt me, please. I want to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. Just let me go home." He cried and he cried. He wailed and he wailed. I wasn't fazed. I leaned in close, nearly putting my face near his. I whispered into his ear, "Would you like your brother back?" He sniffles and nods slowly, trying not to let my knife cut into his flesh. I chuckle and say, "Well, can't bring him back. I have no magical powers. I'm only human, but I could bring you to him." He goes wide-eyed as he realizes what I meant. Before he could scream, I slit his throat and watch him fall. I stare at both of their lifeless bodies and sigh. I haul both of them over to a big tree and pull them sitting up against it. I put the younger brother's head leaning on his big brother's shoulder, and the big brother had his head on his. At least they died together. I carved the words, "Go to sleep," into the tree, so it was right above them. Then I got their blood and filled the words with it. I cut a smile like mine into both of their faces once I'm done, I crouch down in front of them. I stare at them for a while. My face feels wet and I suddenly realize I was crying. I wiped away the tears aggressively and I frown. I stand up and say, "I was never happy or safe. You two make a good memory, but remind me of a bad one." I walk away out of the area and go walking out into the street again. I sigh, then I start to laugh maniacally again. My laughter dies and I keep walking. Now, who's next?